welcome to NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner, and with me today is Mrs. Herta Okonkwo, and she is with the Hampton Roads Network for Nonviolence. Welcome to NPS Now.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
And I'm glad to have you on the show. I met you at one of the school board meetings recently where they signed a proclamation for the season for nonviolence. So I brought you here so you can talk about that with us. Tell us what it is, why it got started, and who's involved.
Okay, season for nonviolence, January 30th to April 4th. Assassination dates of Gandhi and King. A group of people in Los Angeles got together and decided to do something about the level of violence in our country. And Gandhi's grandson is one of the major founders and motivators for the celebration of the season for nonviolence.
Wow, thank you for that explanation. So how many school districts in Virginia are participating in this?
Nobody is participating. Norfolk Public School has the vision, the courage, and the commitment to do something to reduce the high level of violence in our country. And Rodney Jordan is a chairperson for the school board, and he is quite a leader.
Wow, because yes, we signed that proclamation, I think it was December, to bring awareness to this, and so that's why I wanted to have you on the show to talk more about it and give us more information. And so that's an honor for us to be the first in the Commonwealth to adopt this or have a resolution to look at this program. Yeah, so tell me real quick, why is it important to teach our students and the community about nonviolence and this season of nonviolence?
Well, we have to lead a nonviolent lifestyle. And the season for nonviolence gives us the opportunity to focus on this issue. It's 7 weeks, and the idea is to let the students in the schools celebrate this season. There are 7 weeks, and if each club would just adopt a week, and according to its mission, celebrate nonviolence and pick a hero. There are many, many heroes out there, like the Home Economics Club. Eat healthy to avoid obesity. Obesity is a violence against our bodies. There's also the Sierra Club. Protect our environment, particularly animals. But the youngsters are intelligent enough, are motivated enough to go to the website. There's so much information out there to help them celebrate the season and pick a hero.
So there's not just one set activity they can do, it's a plethora of activities they can do to bring awareness to the season of nonviolence.
Correct.
Okay, well, we're going to do that this year. We're going to share this information with our students. But also, in the past, you've held other activities here locally. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we held an opening and closing ceremony. I picked a church to sponsor the ceremony. We had wonderful programs with dancing, choir singing, poetry, skits, and the ecological working group really always did a skit about protecting our environment, which is a major issue.
So who are some of the people that were participating in those activities with you?
Well, as I said, I do have a committee. Rodney Jordan, the chairperson of the school board, organized the assembly around Martin Luther King's memorial on April 4th. We got the police to stop the traffic. We marched around the monument with Sadako Sadaki's peace cranes, and it was very well received.
Right, so how long have you been doing this?
Well, since I picked up a pamphlet in Los Angeles in the year 2000.
So that's 15 years later. Yeah. Or 16 years later.
Yeah.
Almost, 16 years later. So you have a true passion for this.
I guess so.
So you guess
That's
so.
what people say. I'm very passionate about it.
So why are you so passionate about it?
Well, something needs to be done. You know, I was a very small child during the Second World War, and I realized the uselessness of wars and violence. And I'm surprised there are not many other people just jump to this idea we need to do something, and we can.
Right. So you've taken up this cause and you brought it to the school board, and they agree.
Correct, thank you. That's wonderful.
Great, and we're just proud to know that we're one of the school districts to accept the opportunity to do this. And so hopefully our classes and our students in our community will join in and be a part of this season for nonviolence. So tell us again, when is this season of nonviolence?
January 30th to April 4th.
And we're recognizing the assassination dates for Dr. Martin Luther King and
Gandhi.
Gandhi. Wonderful, the death of Gandhi. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Ms. Okonkwo, for coming on the show and sharing with us what this program is all about.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much.
You are welcome. And we want you to stay tuned for more NPS Now.
Welcome back to NPS Now. I'm Steve Sutmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. Today we have two wrestlers, or a wrestling coach and a wrestler from Norview High School here to talk about wrestling. We have Coach Keith Goff, head coach at Norview High School. Welcome.
Thank you.
And then we have a wrestler, a junior from Norview High School, Samson Saucer. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Coach, let's get right into this and talk about the Norfolk duels that just completed. And tell us a little bit about the event, how it got organized, and then the outcome of this year's event.
Basically, it's a large tournament. We had 12 teams from out the area. We had 3 from the beach. We had us, Granby, and Lake Taylor. We had some teams from the Richmond area and North Carolina where they competed in dual meet action. So we had 5 dual meets on the day, and Norview ended up placing second. We beat Salem, which was top 10 in the area, and we lost to Indian River, ranked number 8 in the finals.
Okay. All right, just to clarify for the viewers, wrestling can be done in a couple different ways. One, it's a dual tournament like you just mentioned, and also an individual tournament. So explain the difference for everybody between a dual tournament and an individual.
For a dual meet tournament, basically it's 14 weight classes and we keep score. And the team that has the most points at the end wins the dual meet. For an individual tournament, you're in like NCAA brackets, and you're based on how many matches you win and also your point value. So if you're in the finals, you score more points, and you accumulate those total points, and that determines who's first, second, third.
Okay, and that's how at the end of the year, wrestlers will be seeded into the Virginia High School League, whether the first conference tournament, then regional tournament,
yeah,
and then hopefully into the state tournament.
That's a qualifying system. You have to qualify the top 4 from your conference to go to the region, and from the top 4 in the region to go to state.
Okay. Samson, how did you do in this event?
Norfolk duels?
Mm-hmm.
I went 5-0.
Okay, so out of those 5 matches, I mean, were you challenged? I mean, 5-0 is pretty good.
My last match was kind of tough. I tried to get the major decision, which is winning by 8, but I couldn't get it done.
Okay.
I won by 7.
So that's a good question. Talk a little bit about, you can pin somebody and you get 6 points, and then you can win by points. So talk a little bit about that.
When it's a close dual meet, and there's teams that are kind of equally matched, you want to get the pin because it's 6 points for your team. And if you win by 8 points, it's a major decision, which is 4 points. If you just win by under 8, it's 3. If you win by 15 or more, they stop the match, which is like a technical pin, and that's 5.
Okay, great. All right, so what draws you to wrestling? Why do you like wrestling?
I believe it's the toughest sport.
Toughest sport out there?
Yeah.
All right, so why is it so tough?
You can't pass the ball off to another teammate. You can't rely on some star on the team to just win it for everyone. It's up to you. You got to train harder, and you got to win it.
So talk about your training methods and how do you prepare. I mean, there's a weight class. So what weight class are you in?
126.
All right. So how do you stay at 126?
I got to eat very healthy. I watch everything I eat, watch how much it weighs, when I eat it, when I shouldn't eat it. And I work out a lot.
All right, so prior to a match, run us through, what's your mindset like? How do you get prepared? I mean, you listen to music, jumping around, what are you doing?
I put my headphones in and I just try to zone everything out and just find the kid I'm going against and I just stare him down. And
all right, well, I'm not walking into that match if you're staring at somebody. Coach, what makes this guy such a good wrestler?
I think one is he's just year-round. He's, national circuit. He does different venues other than wrestling. He does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where he's world-class in that. He's been wrestling at a very young age, since elementary and middle school. He attends camps year-round. He's going to find an extra place to work out. He's going to get that additional workout in. So I think he outworks his competition. And he leads by example on the team.
Okay. So as a leader on the team, I mean, how do you get other wrestlers to kind of step up to the hard training that you go through?
You lead by example, because they see some kids might not get that many wins, and they see the way just a warm up for a match. If you don't get a good warm up in, you're not going to wrestle to your highest ability level. And they see me warming up, getting all ready. They see me working hard. They'll do it too. Well,
one thing I've noticed is you also have a lot of fun out there.
Yeah.
On the mat, so that's pretty neat to see. I mean, it's business, but you're also enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Coach, how is Norview going to do this year in conference, and then advancing into the region and into the state? And I know the team is a little different in terms of advancing to those levels, but do you think you're going to have some wrestlers that can get to that regional level into the state level?
I definitely do. The hard thing to be able to identify all the schools in Norfolk, because we are in so many conferences now, 6, 5, 4, 3. So I really can't give justice to all what Grahamy's going to do in their conference. I can only speak to Norview. I do think that we are in the elite, in the top 10. Obviously with the new conference with Hickory, which is probably the state champions, and Indian River was in the top 10. I believe our conference is probably the toughest in the state. So there's going to be some kids that place 3rd or 4th in this conference that are going to place in the region and the state. I think obviously Sampson has legitimate shot of bringing home a state championship. Christian Carter at 138, Josh Cuffey at heavyweight. We do have other kids, I think, that are in the mix of placing at the region and state level.
Okay, so with that, when you're looking at and preparing for a season, what kind of characteristics that you look for in a wrestler that can advance to that level? You think Sampson can get to that state level, and that's a great thing. So what do you look for in a young wrestler and moving through that?
I believe it's a work in progress. You got to be able to go out there and perform. It's gonna one, have some fun with it. And compete like you practice. If you're going to practice hard and intense, you should be able to show that. And go out and have fun, open it up, wrestle in front of the lights. We have some kids that get out there and they're gamers. They love to be in the spotlight. And you realize there's 3 things to the sport. There's technique, that's the skills that we have. There's conditioning, and you get that on your own. And then the last is just that intensity, that courage, that that gut check.
Okay. So how can Norfolk, in a whole, develop our program to compete? And we know Chesapeake, you're a Great Bridge grad. How can we get to that level of the Great Bridge, the Hickories, and some of the beach schools that have been dominating the area over the last few years?
I think for some part we are at that individual level, like Sampson, but those are the kids that are doing like what the beach is doing. They're going to camps, they're going to clubs. We've also started the middle school program, which is it's a lot of those kids are coming up and they have a good skill set. I do think we need to, what we're lacking, we need to start is to come up with like a feeder program, a youth program, like they do out at the beach and at Hickory and at at Great Bridge, and it's going to involve a lot of parents that wrestled before to give back. It's going to be a lot of people to help out.
Okay, so I mean, you mentioned the middle school program. Obviously, we've had that for a number of years, and I see some benefits. Sampson, did you wrestle in middle school?
Yes, sir. I did.
Where'd you wrestle?
Azalea Garden Middle School.
Okay, that seems to be a prominent program for Norview High School. So
it's a pipeline.
It's definitely a pipeline. So that's nice to have. All right, so. Sampson, let's get back to you. Goals for this year. We know we think we know what the goal is, but tell us the goals.
I want to beat the best out there.
Okay. All right. So you win that state. What's the next thing for you? What else are you going to do? Because you're involved in some other things, as Coach mentioned.
I want to fight my first amateur MMA fight this summer.
All right. And that's an up and coming. It's probably not up and coming, but it's a sport out there that's getting a lot of national attention.
Yeah.
An aggressive sport. So can you hang in that?
Most certainly.
Okay. Who's your idol in that?
I like Conor McGregor.
Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Coach, sounds like you got your hands full with this guy.
Yes, sir.
but it looks like he's doing a lot of good things in Norfolk Public Schools, Norview High School. We know we're very proud of him. So we wish you luck this season, and we'll see you on the mat.
Thanks.
More NPS Now after this.
Welcome back to NPS Now. With me today is Dr. Nathaniel Fuller of Fuller Perez, LLC, and then also Amanda Blake of Junior Achievement. Welcome to the two of you to NPS Now.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Appreciate it.
I am glad to have you. January, we're kicking off Mentoring Month, and I think what you're doing has something to do with mentoring. So first, Junior Achievement, I did it when I was a child, and I loved it. So I'm interested in seeing how Junior Achievement has evolved. So thank you both for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
So first, for those who don't know what Junior Achievement is, Amanda, kind of help us out with that.
Sure. So you kind of touched base on how Junior Achievement has been around for quite a while. National organization. We have been in Greater Hampton Roads coming up on our 50th anniversary year, so very exciting this year. So we are a great resource for the schools. We work with K through 12 students, and we focus on 3 pillars. So we want to teach the students about work readiness skills, entrepreneurship, inspire them to have some entrepreneurial spirit, and also financial literacy. So 3 really important aspects to learn.
Well, coming up in March, you're going to do a special program with us. What's that about?
Yes, so a very big, exciting event with Norfolk Public Schools, in particular the elementary schools. So we are going to be working with K through 5th grade. And we're hoping to reach upwards of 7,000 students with our programs at the schools, and improve SOL testing with our SOL correlated programs.
So what's the event? What is it called? What are you going to be doing?
So this is called JA in a Day. So they will be getting the full curriculum in one day over the course of 4 to 5 hours during their school day. They'll be learning about all of the financial literacy aspects, entrepreneurship, and some work readiness.
So how do you come into play, Dr. Fuller? I understand in order to do this, it's a huge undertaking. You need volunteers or people to come and help. So how are you going to help with this event?
Yeah, great question. I think what I try to bring to the table is try to bring a lot of military volunteers to the table. I have a lot of military background, but also have a lot of commercial contacts and networks and things of that nature. So the more volunteers that we can get with this, I think the successful it will be, right? It brings a lot of rich or they bring a lot of rich experience to this organization and to this effort. So yeah, my job is to campaign and try to get as many people to participate in this as possible. So
why do you think it's so important? Because you mentioned military before. To get them involved in this JA event.
So I think the military plays a big part, especially in this area, because it's they have a very large presence here, right? And a lot of them really love to do volunteer work, but I think it's about just getting the word out and saying, hey, there's this very good JA program that's about to occur. Do you want to be a part of it? Do you want to get back to the community? And I think the military is very, very, they're very interested in giving back to the community. So I think they're like the #1 choice for us to really try to think about, bringing into this program. So,
So is there an evaluation piece for the military with this? So like you need, like our students, some of them have volunteer components that they have to do for graduation, but is this something that the military may have to do?
Yeah, I think, whenever the military, looks at performance, right, and they look at, okay, they have to do evaluations just like every other employee does at an organization. So one of their criteria is, hey, have you done any volunteer work? Have you done anything with the community, right? So by them participating in this program, they'll be able to check that box, right? So it's in their best interest to be a part of this, right? It's a win-win for everyone. So
Right. So have we pinned down an exact day or week or time?
Yes, so this is going to be taking place right before spring break during the week of March 21st through 25th. We will be doing a lot of elementary schools within the city of Norfolk during that week. So it's going to require a huge volunteer presence. So we're going to be working with several other businesses within the community other than just the military, which is one of our focuses. But there's a lot of kind of win-win aspects to the volunteer side. Not only is it very fun, hands-on activities with the kids, especially the elementary age is really fun. But we have several banks that will be involved, and they get that CRA credit through our program, so that's a great benefit for them. You know, we have some really great universities and schools that, you know, really get involved in this. So, again, we're looking for a large portion of volunteers.
So when you
to
say
make
large,
this happen.
how many volunteers do you think we need?
Yeah, so throughout this entire week, we're going to be looking to have 400 volunteers and mentors. So each one's going to have their, you know, assigned school, and there's one volunteer and mentor to a class.
Okay.
So
if someone's watching this show, like, okay, I want to participate, what will that day look like?
Sure. So that day, again, it's going to be about a 4 to 5 hour period commitment, just one day. So there's several ways that you can get involved. Some companies have found it more convenient to kind of adopt a grade level. And so what that means is they're going to be sending me 4 or 5 volunteers each day throughout the week. Another way to get involved is you can actually adopt an entire school, which is a great team building opportunity for the company. It would be about 25 to 30 volunteers in order to adopt the school. And they just kind of flood the school, and they get to wear their company, you know, polos, bring things from their, you know, company and talk about their job. So that's a great opportunity as well. And that's a one-day commitment for about 4 to 5 hours.
So someone, again, watching this show, how can they sign up and get involved?
Sure. So it's easy. There's several ways. You can contact myself, send me an email if that's easiest, give us a call. You can actually visit our website as well.
You want to give that number, that name?
Yeah, sure. The website, so it's jahamptonroads.com. And there is a whole page dedicated to the volunteers. So there's a volunteer tab. You can learn about, you know, what it means to be a junior achievement volunteer. And you can actually submit an interest form that goes directly to me. You can pick, you know, which opportunity sounds like the best, you know, choice for you.
Okay.
And it comes
Okay,
right to
Dr.
me.
Fuller, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to get a push for the military to volunteer.
We need you. We need you to basically participate in this program. I think the military turnout, I think, will be very, very good, right? You know, being a prior military myself, you know, the military is always looking to help community, right? And they're always looking to, like, be a very important aspect of the area, right? And wherever they are, right? So I think their presence will be, there'll be a lot of them, right? There'll be a good turnout of individuals there to kind of help us out, right? And also, you know, Amanda mentioned the commercial side, right? I think there'll be a lot of commercial turnout, right? Companies love to be a part of these type of programs because, number one, it's a good opportunity to do PR, right? It's good for the community. And we're also kind of shaping some of the younger folks to kind of be exposed to some of these businesses that, hey, you know, 10 years, 15 years down the line, they're going to be working for them, right?
Right.
So
Our next workforce.
Exactly, right? So I come out, definitely participate. We'll have fun, and it's a good thing. So.
Great. And Amanda, what's the phone number if they want to reach?
Sure, 757-455-9504.
Great. Thank you both for coming on the show and sharing this upcoming event with junior achievement in our schools.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And we want to thank you for watching NPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS, Channel 47, or you can view us online at www.npsk12.com. If you have any great story ideas or news you'd like to share, email us at nps_news@npsk12.com. Again, we want to thank you for watching NPS Now.